Hello, you bearded bastards, and welcome to Umomava's Darkmine, a fledgling fortress located on the outskirts of an evil grassland known as the Plains of Shaming. It is said that the ghosts of the dead linger over this dark land, but that doesn't bother these dwarves. In fact, it only encourages them. You see, the dwarves that live here in this place call themselves Ibruknagak, the Ashen Beetles, and they are worshippers of a dark dwarven god, a shunned being who is spoken of only in whispers, and for good reason. A being known as the Murk of Burying, goddess of the night, murder, death, and suicide. She is queen of the dead, and her sole mission is to snuff out the life that exists in this green world. And these dwarves here are going to try their damnedest to help her accomplish this mission. Unbeknownst to their empire at large, of course, the civilized dwarves don't go around murdering everyone they see, and so the dwarves of Darkmine are able to work in a state of relative autonomy, under the guise of being overeager zealots. You see, the worshippers of the Murk of Burying are well known to the dwarves of this part of the world, and so they were forced into swearing an oath of fealty to the Ranger Queen Einod, that they would never raise a blade against a fellow dwarf, and so they're allowed to have this small temple fortress, as long as they use their might only against the nearby goblins. For now. Assuming they survive, that is, because one must not forget that the Plains of Shaming are a dangerous place. There are worse things to fear than the whispers of ghosts out in those dark woods, for you see, from time to time, vile clouds drift down from the blue-tinged sky and coat the land in a foul, evil presence. A presence that can infect the mind and change living beings into deadly thralls under the power of the clouds themselves. But the dwarves do not work alone in their mission, for a group of outcasts has joined them in their quest. Animal men from the surrounding wilderness, snorting filthy beasts, creatures who too wish to revel in the dark goddess's might. Their hands, paws, and hooves will be of much use here. Quite an intro, huh? Well, now that that's out of the way, again I'd like to welcome you to Umomava's Darkmine. And we're gonna have to get straight into things here because, frankly, we're already going downhill. During the intro, we lost a couple dwarves and a wild boar man, and I think a rat man as well. We can already see that one of our mountain goat men is pretty upset, and I can't blame them. Yeah, Jesus, corpses all over the place. I saw that cloud coming, which was a surprise to me, and so I scurried all my dwarves down underground here, but still one of them turned into a thrall and started killing other dwarves. I have never had any experience with evil clouds before, so this is probably going to get interesting. We can see we have a thrall up here. It's a possum. I'm gonna send out my warriors real quick. Now, our warriors are known as the corpse makers. There are 8 of them right now. There were 10, and they're all animal men and women, equipped with basic gear and with some fighting skill. We lost a mountain goat man and a rat man already, proving that they really are not the best fighters. But I'm gonna have them come out here and kill this possum real quick. There's a rat man there fighting with a thing. A tough battle. Oh, and the possum's got the rat man down. Oh, really giving it to him too. Rat man is unconscious. Oh my god, where are the rest of you? Come on guys, get in here. Oh boy, yeah, this is something else. Not much hope for this poor rat man. Oh, but here comes our militia commander, as well as a mountain goat man. Come on, get in there guys. Okay, that should do it. Done deal. Very good. Alright, so I paused the game just now. Again, because things are spiraling straight downwards very quickly. We have corpses, wounded people, and okay, well, while I have it paused, let's discuss our fortress here. Currently we have this vertical pit down into the ground, with a ramp that goes around the outer edge, farther and farther down to this stone. And you know, I was gonna try to go pretty far down, but we have to get started on our fortress. We need a place to get situated so these dwarves don't go crazy straight off the bat. Oh, and you know, I just realized too that we're completely out of drinks and food. Oh boy. This might be a very short fortress actually. Alright, so first off, we're going to start off with this tunnel here, leading off to the west, and this will be the entrance to the fortress. And if you look over here, I have a little staircase going upwards that will lead to this level here, a dirt level, so that we can do some farming in a real hurry, so that we don't starve and stuff. In the meantime, I have all the animal men and some of the dwarves up here gathering plants, again, so we don't starve, and hopefully we could brew something out of the stuff they find. This is looking so bad right now. Like, truly terrible. I have a feeling that at this point, we've already kind of spoiled ourselves. What with the corpses around and stuff, kind of puts your citizens in a terrible mood, you know? Speaking of which, I guess we should start making some coffins as well. Ugh. What the hell kind of fortress is this? It's a goddamn mess, I'll tell ya. Alright, well it looks like we found some plants so far, but still not enough. Hang in there, my vile cultists. We must be successful in our mission, for the glory of the Dark Goddess. Alright, looks like our farm is good to go. Let's start farming, quickly. That's gonna be our best bet for survival at this point. Such a damn mess. And down here in the entry hall that we're currently getting carved out, we'll start putting some coffins down, because we have to get our deceased brethren entombed quickly. That whole thing's really kind of getting the dwarves down. Dwarves and beastmen. I figured that'd be apt, since we're a cult of death, to have our dead entombed right in the entryway. That's sensible, right? In a way, I suppose. Now that we have food and corpses somewhat managed, how about we make a large communal room down this end? We have to hurry up and get our cultists happy. That's how we'll do it, just like that. Yeah, pretty big, right? It'll be worth it. And we'll cram a whole bunch of stuff in here too. More coffins, a whole bunch of storage, temples, just so we can get it done quickly, you know? And of course we have to keep a constant lookout for these clouds. Eerie murk clouds is what they're called, and it looks to be heading straight for the fortress. And so I'm going to attempt to get all the dwarves and animal people down underground here. Last time one of those clouds drifted by though, this is exactly what we did, and it didn't really help. Come on, everyone in, let's go. After having to deal with that damn possum thrall zombie, we can see how powerful those things are, which is pretty terrifying. Alright, the cloud is passing, thankfully. Everyone back to work. Let's go. This is a pretty rough place for a fortress. Damn, huh? Wild. Getting back to work down here, pretty slow going. Up here we're making a place for a trade depot, and we only just started getting work done in the meeting hall. Over here we have a small food stockpile, and you can see we do have some plump helmets and other edible food in there now, which is certainly better than nothing, but things are looking very bad in the fortress. We are spiraling. Our one moose person died, and I'm still not too sure how, and a mountain goat woman has been throwing tantrums recently as well. I'm hoping she's not the one who caused the death, but it's not like we could do anything about it, so just keep working, I guess. Now I realize I still haven't gone over any concrete goals for Darkmine here, and that's mainly because the dwarves are very busy focusing on their work, but I guess while we have a breather here, we can go over some things. Now what we're building here is basically a temple to the Murk of Burying, our beautiful dark goddess, and it is from this place that we will wage a war on all life, and to do this we need warriors. But to be perfectly honest, I'm not too sure how many citizens we can expect to ever have here. And so with that in mind, we have to figure out how to get the most powerful warriors possible. And so our goal here is to create a small army of extremely powerful individuals. And I do have some ideas on how to accomplish this. And they'll be revealed in time, no worries. But for now, I think we should focus on the matter at hand. Survival, that is. Alright, let's see, it's currently the 3rd of Hematite, 272, early summer. And we have a fair bit of plants that we are busy brewing into drinks as we speak, and our population is 11. 6 dwarves and 5 animal people, 3 wild boar people, and 2 mountain goat people. That's it. Pretty high mortality rate so far. Damn shame. And the next thing I'd like to do is to build a wall around this pit here, to maybe help prevent those cloud fumes from entering our fortress. During that first attack, I had my dwarves down at the bottom of the pit, but it still worked its way down there, which is pretty terrifying. Just kind of like that. It's going to end up being a little thicker and taller, hopefully. But, well, I suppose this really shouldn't be one of our priorities. No worries. After seeing what that possum did to our warriors, I am pretty concerned about how strong those thralls are. And also intrigued, actually. There might be a way to use that to our advantage. But time will tell. We have another cloud moving in from the northwest, but it just dissipated. Gotta keep those eyes open. You never know. Back down here in our fortress, we kinda gave up digging out that gigantic meeting hall, which is okay for now, so that's why it's a bit rough in there. We do have some tables and chairs up, and the whole place is designated as a meeting hall, so at least we have that going for us now. Down here in the corridor we have some beds, which will serve as a temporary hospital and dormitory. We have a trade depot now, and a still, and so we're not looking so terrible with the food and drink situation anymore, although we're still not great, mind you. Another cloud moving in from the east. Looks to be a bad one. Alright, dwarves, get to the fortress. There we go, yep, get down there. Oh, it looks like a rabbit was caught in the cloud and has turned into a thrall. Oof. and it is stalking around, hunting down this other rabbit. Nasty things. Well, have a look here. Some migrants. Pretty cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad. Just hoping they don't run into this zombified rabbit. Yeah, it looks to be moving away though. That thing could be trouble. You know, I was gonna send the dwarves back out to get to work, but I think I'm gonna take care of that rabbit first. The thing seems pretty damn dangerous. Again, after dealing with that possum, I don't think this thing's going to be a weakling exactly. And so let's give it a test first. Alright, that rabbit is out here a little bit. Just going up this hill over to the west, while all the animal men are still getting in place. Ah, hell, guess I'll send them out. I'm really hoping it's not as tough as I think it's going to be. The animal men should be incoming any second now. I mean, it's only a rabbit, right? Oh, here we go. It's fighting. Still fighting. This can't be great. Still fighting. Jeez, it took 4 animal men to take down a rabbit? That's insane. And that thing was really fighting, too. It looks to have bit the hell out of a couple of our warriors. Yeah, and it fought until it died, too. Man, those things are dangerous. And so far, all we fought is a rabbit and a possum. That's kinda terrifying. Yikes. Guess we'll just have to be, on our guard. Anyways, back to work, everyone. Oh, and yet another cloud is moving in. From the west this time. It's alright though, because I don't think it's gonna come too close to the fortress. I don't think, anyways. But just in case, I do have another burrow set up so that dwarves don't go too far away. Better safe than sorry, right? Back down underground here, you can see we've started work on carving out some bedrooms for our cultists. As well as a few other little details here, I figured we'd put the temple to our goddess down at the southern end of the meeting hall. Just down this way here. And around the entire perimeter of this area, I'm digging a trench. And if we go down a level, you can see it's all going to be connected up. And I'm going to get this filled with water. I'm not too sure how I'm going to do that exactly at this moment, but I imagine we'll have to be using buckets, which is going to be a bit tedious, but I think it's going to be worth it, because I also plan on having a screw pump put in. And I want to be able to suck up water from this trench and just kind of spit it back out into the trench. And hopefully that'll create some mist for our cultists to walk through. I'm not sure if it'll end up working, but it's gotta be worth a try, right? Still so many upset people here. Oh hey, good news. Finally, the merchants have arrived. That's fantastic actually. We could really use some new supplies. Just remember to be on your best behavior, cultists. We can't allow them to suspect a thing. Although unfortunately, I guess we don't really have anything to trade. Other than food and drinks, which we desperately need. Kinda foolish of us, I suppose. Well, no matter. We seem to be doing fine for the time being. Well enough anyways. Another cloud moving in from the west. Let's get underground, guys, come on. Come on, hurry up. Drop that statue, will ya? Alright, looks like we're good. Whoa, where are you going? Oh, I guess this is the outpost liaison. Fella, did we not tell you about the clouds? Please don't walk into the thing. Alright, somehow he narrowly avoided it. Lucky dwarf. But here comes another, moving in from the northeast, and heading roughly towards the fortress once more. That could be real bad news if that wagon decides to leave when it's passing over. I'd have to imagine that those skilled and armed guard dwarves would be nearly unstoppable as zombie thralls. Oh geez. Okay, some more migrants have arrived, but the fortress is on the other side of this cloud down here. So I'm thinking they're gonna try to attempt to pass through the cloud. Ugh, and I don't think there's gonna be a good way to do that. You know, I'm not too sure if this is going to work, but I set up some traffic zones just now. And I'm hoping these migrants will follow this green path down to the south. I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but I guess we'll see. And... oh right, was a cloud passing down this way? Oh boy, that's not good. Right, I thought it was heading north. I forgot this one came from the northeast. Alright, so all the dwarves are walking directly towards the cloud right now. Alright, so I just modified the traffic zones a little bit. And let's see if this works. Nope. Nope. Not at all. Oh boy. Oh no, we have thralls, killing migrants left and right. Oh, and down in the actual fortress there's one as well. It looks to have been that outpost liaison, who did end up killing a dwarf. Surprisingly, I think I just saw 2 of the migrants get down into the fortress, maybe 3, but there are at least a couple of dead dwarves up on the surface now, as well as that thrall. Damn thing. Well, you know, I'm not terribly certain what we should do about her. I'm thinking that since that cloud has passed, we turn on the safety burrow, so that dwarves have to stay near the fortress. It will just continue keeping an eye on her for now. Oh, hold up a second now, what is this mountain goat person doing? Come on, you idiot. Ugh. Yeah, they're toast. Teeth everywhere, and they're dead. I have no idea what that was. Oh boy, things are going pretty bad here. Oh geez. Alright, that thrall is moving in. Everyone get underground, right now. Come on, hurry up. There we go. And we'll follow the thrall, who is climbing along the side of the shaft, moving in, killing dwarves left and right, no problem at all. Oh no, it's moving into our makeshift hospital area. There are dwarves dead all over the place now. Oh god. This is terrible. Oh boy. Ugh, catastrophic. Pretty much everyone's dead at this point. That's gonna do it. That was it right there. The fall of Darkmine. The cultists have failed. And everyone has died. They now rest in the infinite catacomb of the murk of burying. All but one, that is. A lowly wild boar man, known as Moses Stizashragoth. Kindling craft. He had found his way here with a band of other animal men, in order to help out the Ashen Beetles in their dark mission. But now, only he remains. Well, that's an unexpected change of pace. We go from having a cultist temple to the goddess of death, to having only a single individual. A wild boar man, no less. That was definitely unplanned, but extremely intriguing. You know it? Well, let's take a look at our fella here. Our name is Moses Stizashragoth, which means kindling craft, and we are currently equipped with, well, not much. We have some fairly standard clothing, cloth shoes, a leather robe, hood, and for armor we have steel chain leggings, as well as bronze gauntlets and a badly damaged bronze cap, and we have no weapons to speak of. As for our skills, Moses is a proficient mace man, and also a pretty skilled fighter overall, which is good because his overall attributes are pretty bad. He has high toughness, but everything else is just average. As for his health, he has nothing serious going on, except for an infection in his left upper arm. Just his skin. That's not terrible. A wound he received while living in the fortress. Currently, he's a bit overstressed and grouchy from being in the rain, and overall he seems like a fairly ambitious person, who's always looking for a way to better his situation. He doesn't focus on material goods, he is trusting, perhaps a bit naive, and he's rarely moved to mercy. Okay, but he is quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance or culture. That would explain why he seemed to be so comfortable in this fortress with dwarves and other animal people. One interesting thing I noticed is that it says he's a dubious worshipper of Nish Sell Fortunes, the trade of walks, also known as Nish Esh Dor Asram Nish Berdan, who is the dwarven goddess of trade and wealth. Makes you wonder why he was here with these cultist dwarves, worshipping the goddess of death. I'm thinking that maybe his heart wasn't in the game this entire time, and perhaps he was just kind of going along with the other animal people. Maybe they were his friends, and he was just kind of following along. He is an ambitious wild boar man, so perhaps he saw it as a way to help improve his current situation, maybe gain some personal power. That is interesting. But here he is now, standing on the eastern border of the Plains of Shaming, an evil haunted grassland. And now he has to make a decision. What does Moses do next? Well, you know, first of all, we can't do anything without proper weapons, or armor for that matter. Our helmet's all busted, and we don't even have any boots or chest armor or anything. So I'm thinking we should take a look around this fortress. Although I'm not sure he's aware of the whole zombie thrall situation. So let's take it slow. First I'm gonna move up here and take a look down below to see if I can see anything. Not seeing much yet. A dead cat there. And farther down. But not much else. Okay, so we'll hop off this wall here. And I'm gonna head around, just to see what we can see. Poor thing. We'll have another look here. I would have to imagine that Moses heard all that commotion when that thrall entered the fortress and killed all of the other dwarves. Still seeing nothing down there. So at the moment, he really is just unaware that anything is going on in the fortress, except for maybe hearing a commotion. Hey now, here on the ground, there's a bismuth bronze cap. I'm gonna grab that. There we go. We'll take off this beat up old one and wear this one here. Much better. And we'll continue on our way. Well, it's getting a bit dark down here, but now we can see the bodies and the blood and the gore. Something happened, that's for sure. Something bad. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna take a careful but thorough look around the area. Moses still isn't sure what happened here, and so we're going to have to be careful, just in case something is still lurking in the dark. We'll make it quick. We have to do this. Alright, well, I guess that'll do it. We've scoured the fortress and found some valuable items, and while Moses doesn't care too much about material goods, I figured to the right person they could be fairly valuable, and so I decided to grab a whole bunch of it, and I crammed it into this barrel right here, which is terribly heavy right now. Like, extremely heavy. I figure I'll just have to store it somewhere, so I can access it from time to time and sell this stuff somewhere. We found a whole bunch of gems that were mined out by the dwarves, as well as a few trinkets, bracelets, crowns, that sort of stuff. Nothing too interesting, but again, I'm sure someone will find it interesting. And so, we're off, with barrel in hand. Oh, and you know, I did find a very interesting weapon too. A steel battle axe, which I did take. That'll come in handy. Unfortunately, I didn't see any maces down there, which I would have preferred, but you gotta use what you got, right? Well, hey now, actually, right up here, there's some gear on the ground, including a backpack, which will be much better than this barrel. Fantastic. Alright, well, I guess I'll transfer this stuff over. Just a moment. Okay, and now we're good to go. Having a look at the map, there are a large amount of humans down to the south, on the coast, including a town known as Gastrimsekul, Velvet Gazes, and that might be a good place to get started. Moses is part of the Dwarven civilization technically, but I think we'll avoid them for now, just to let the heat from the Darkmine fiasco die down a bit. I'm sure they'll have questions about the place when they come to investigate what happened here, and I don't want anybody finding out that we're some sort of a death cultist, because, well, we're not. We're just an ambitious boar man. Perhaps a bit too ambitious. But yes, our first goal is to the south, and night is falling, which is terrible news actually. Nighttime in the Plains of Shaming is no joke, I'd imagine, especially as a lone traveler who's terribly overburdened. Let's just hope for the best and try to stay on the trail. And it looks like we're approaching town. Fantastic, we got lucky. Certainly looks like a quaint place. It looks a bit too quaint. This can't be the place we're looking for exactly, but I suppose we could still spend the night here. Let's see what this place has to offer, and hope the locals are friendly. Excuse me. You, over there, with the widely spaced teeth. My name is Moses Kindling Crafts.
Hello, wild boar man. I am Ashab Tuskdeeps. Only a fool would travel alone at night. Take shelter, or the bogeyman will get you.
Well, I suppose if that's an offer, please let me shelter here for the night.
Certainly. It would be terrible to leave someone to fend for themselves after sunset.
Thank you, miss. We should all work together.
No doubt. You're very welcome.
And I suppose we'll just find ourselves a little spot in the corner here. There we are. Not as comfortable as Darkmine, but at least it is a mite safer. Thank you again, miss. A surprisingly restful sleep, but for now, I take my leave. Thank you again, humans. And please, for your troubles, I insist you take these gems. Ask not where I procured them. Goodbye. Alright, it is the next day now, and so I suppose we continue on our way to Velvet Gazes. Slowly, mind you. We are still terribly overburdened. And here we are, Velvet Gazes, a bustling human town on the coast, located in the West Prairies. I think this will make an excellent place to set up shop for a while. It's certainly busy enough where we won't be noticed immediately, which is just what I'm looking for. And also we can hunt around for some more gear, and possibly allies. That might be very important, because there is much work to do. Alright, this here looks to be some sort of a tavern, judging by the sign, and the commotion from within. Unfortunately, I've never learned to read. But, you know, before we go waltzing into the place, I've got to find a place to stash this barrel. Well, how about just right back here? We'll just kind of push it into this little muddy nook at the roadside. But I will take some of these gems with me, just in case I have to pay for any services. There we are. We'll just have to be sure to remember it's there. Now then, to the tavern. This would appear to be a fairly rough-looking establishment, with a few shady-looking characters about. Well, I suppose for now we'll take a seat in the shadows, away from prying ears. But perhaps we can do some prying with our own ears.
I yield! I yield!
Looks like that human's giving a goblin some trouble.
Ah!
It would seem this place is a little bit more rough than I first thought. I don't know if we'll want to be dealing with those humans. However, I spy an interesting goblin in the corner, perhaps a source of information, or a possible ally. Greetings. My name is Moses Kindling Crafts.
Hello, wild boar man. I am Ak Rain Hops. Don't travel alone at night where the boogeyman will get you.
Quite. Now listen, you seem like a fairly savvy individual, sharply dressed, and you clearly have your wits about you. What do you think of being my traveling companion? We can have it all. Riches, excitement, we'll be heroes.
Well, that sounds fantastic, pigman. I will agree to travel with you, if you lead me to glory and death.
I can promise at least one of those. Well, now, How about we get ourselves a couple of drinks and figure out what we're doing next?
Yes, that sounds good.
Let's do that, boss. A celebration then. Pineapple wine. Fantastic. 2 future adventures. But we shouldn't discuss plans here. We'll have to find somewhere a bit more private. The Buttery Belly Tavern. My companion and I have spent several days up in one of its well-appointed rooms, mostly just laying low, keeping our ears to the ground, and enjoying some food and drink. I have spoken a great deal with Ak, and he seems like a fairly trustworthy fellow, although he is greatly resistant about speaking of his past. However, it matters little. He seems like a competent enough fighter, and eager to follow commands. His skills will be very handy, I'm sure, though we are still only 2, and if my plans are to succeed, we'll need more, as well as improved skill and equipment. A long road awaits ahead of us, and if we are to travel it, then we'll have to be prepared. I've had time now to reflect on my days at Darkmine, on the intriguing information that I heard while I was there. And while I am no cultist of the Merc of Burying, I do share their want of power. I've spent far too much of my life as an outcast, and after surviving the fall of Darkmine, I believe it's finally my time to make a mark on this world. A great and everlasting mark. I think for the time being anyways, we'll stick towards the coast, the human lands. They have only a small empire, and we can lay low while we get our bearings. However, of the rumors that I've heard down at the tavern, one in particular has jumped out at me. A few of the drunks were speaking of an ancient iron axe, an axe known as Usprausnem, match shattered, created by a minion of the Dark Lord Gugo Oozburial. It is said that for years it was kept at the larval castle, at the foot of the eastern mountains in Whisker Demons, guarded over by an army of trolls and goblins, and other foul creatures. Until, that is, it was stolen from this place, by a human, and taken away to a hamlet in the south, quite close to the Buttery Belly Tavern. A fortunate coincidence. My hope is to take Usprausnem as first of my many treasures. A large, but fitting first step on my road to power. Although admittedly, such a quest might be too ambitious. That's alright though, because I have patience, and other plans. I spotted something interesting on my way into Velvet Gazes, something I've been meaning to look farther into. It appeared to be the ruins of a temple, long forgotten, sitting at the outskirts of town. The locals seem to shun this forgotten shrine, but it might be an interesting place to pick around. You never know what you could find in a place like this. It'll be worth the effort, I'm sure.
What are we doing here?
Why, what do you mean?
Let's get out of here, huh? They don't really like me around here. Let's go back to the tavern, huh? Get some drinks. You know, earlier a couple of the guys wanted to play some cards and
Oh, would you stop? We've been in that damn tavern for 3 days now. I want to stretch my legs a bit. What are you afraid of anyways? It's just some old ruins. It's probably filled with rocks and animals. And maybe treasure, I guess you never know.
Come on. This place is called the Hollow Shrine. It was a temple to Derbalcato Isen, the Great Spider. But that was a couple hundred years ago. I'm sure this place is picked clean. Come on, let's go back to the tavern.
Oh, would you stop being a coward? What do you even have that weapon for? We're going in.
Alright. Suit yourself. But I'm telling you, there's these jerk goblin bandits in there. And they don't like me at all. And the feeling's mutual.
Fair enough, I suppose. Well, we'll just have to show them who's boss, eh? Come, Ak.
Alright. But I'm telling you, it's a stupid idea. I swear, as soon as I see one of those bastards.
Calm yourself, Ak. You're far too worked up. An interesting structure. Some ruined columns reaching upwards, and some peculiar statues, all overlooking a deep pit.
Yeah, I could've told you that much. And those bandits are down there. They could probably hear you.
Such a damn complainer.
Well, what do you want from me?
They can definitely hear you. Intruders! Don't come one step closer, pigman! It would seem that with all their bickering, Moses and Ak have alerted the brigands down in the temple ruins. Do they stand even the slightest chance against these skilled bandits? Or do our heroes perish here, at the onset of their very first adventure? Well, you'll just have to wait until next week. I thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed yourself, and until next time, you bearded bastards,